Calculus kids, this is Dr. Callahan for week 3 Wednesday. How are you guys doing? I hope you had a wonderful week. Go ahead and pause the video and answer the following questions. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and create the assignment for your class today. So under MS Teams, we're just going to create assignment. And so I'm just going to title it Week 3 Wednesday, AP Calculus, Semester 2. And the topic today is you're going to have your assessment, and it's actually going to be paper and pencil, so hard copy. And the topic today is going to be on sigma notation, Reiman sum. So your instructions to complete the assessment, attach the PDF hard copy. 10 points, and it is always due by 3 p.m. the following day. And I'm just going to go ahead and click on assign. And to make sure that you guys have a copy of this, I'm going to make sure that you guys have the PDF. So I'll go ahead and create the PDF for you guys as well. Okay, so this is actually going to be your assessment right here. It's 8 questions, and I actually included the answers in the steps that I included as well with this. So it's kind of like an honor system. I hope you would attempt to do the 8 questions by yourself, and then once you're done, you can go ahead and correct it. And if you need to do a correction, you're welcome to do that as well. So let me just go ahead and copy that over. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and save as. Calculus, week 3 Wednesday. And that will be your attachment for your guided notes. All right, so let's go back to the MS team and make sure you have your assessment. I'm just gonna put assessment PDF, attach it from my computer. And here it is. Open. It's attaching, uploading, and send. Perfect. So you have that hard copy. So if you go ahead and click on it, you will have this available to you. And you can either print it off, and if you don't have a printer, that's totally fine. You can just go ahead and do this separately on a separate piece of paper. That's a-okay with me. All right, so with that said, let's kind of go back to the questions today. Course request for next semester's class or next year for 2021-2022 fall semester, semester 1 is underway. I've already pretty much put you guys in the classes that I think will be a good fit. Most of you guys going from AP Calculus AB will go to AP Calculus BC. This is only if you're either a sophomore or junior or in current standing, because if you're currently a senior, next year you probably graduate high school and go do bigger and better things. And so I basically just put you guys in calculus AP, calculus BC. So unless you feel that this is not a good fit and you feel like you'd rather go into AP Prop and Stats, or, I think those are really the only two classes you really can go into, just let me know and I'll go ahead and change your course request. But this is the request that I will be putting you in, and this is what's going to appear on your schedule for next year. So if you feel like it is not a good fit for you to go to AP Calculus BC, just let me know and we'll have a chit chat. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at today's stuff then. So I said it before, this is your 8 questions. Yesterday we talked about the integrals of absolute values. I thought it was fairly simple for the most part. You guys did pretty well overall. But then at the same time, you can't forget about Riemann sum and sigma notation. We talked about this back in week 1 and week 2, Monday, and week 2, Tuesday. And then we kind of stopped and moved on to definite integrals and whatnot. But this is something that I feel like you guys still need a little bit more practice on. So I'm actually going to go over 2 questions with you guys on sigma notations, just as a friendly little reminder. So it's part of your questions on your quiz. And guess what? If you just follow along and get the questions and write it down, you get the points for it. So it's a learning experience and it's not meant to be punitive. So yeah, as long as you copy it down, I think you guys will be good. So let's go ahead and take a look at question number 5. This is a question that you'll most likely have on your AP college exam. I also had it on the AP assessment that was on the question bank from AP College Board. So use a table of values on the right to estimate below. And for A, it says, use a 3 left-handed rectangle with intervals indicated by the table, and intervals from x is equal to 0 to 4. So there's a space of 4. From 4 to 6, so there's a 2. 6 to 7, there's a 1. 1 to 10, so there's a space of 3. And that's basically like the intervals of it. And these are the y values on the bottom to estimate the area between the curve and the x-axis on intervals from 0 to 7. So first thing that we're going to do with this is we're going to go ahead and draw a diagram of how this will look like. So I'm going to draw my diagram right over here. Okay, and I know my intervals from 0 to 4. So here's my 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I want to stop at 7 because it's from 0 to 7. And so from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the height of each of these intervals for the rectangles. My first rectangle, and this is my first rectangle, is going to be from 0 to 4. So it's a left-handed interval. So here's my 0 to 4, and it is at 5. So I'm going to go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From 0 to 5, here's my first one. And then from 4 to 3, so here's 4, it's going to be at 3. And then from 6, 2. And then from 7, 3. And I have these individual dots. And I know you're like, what am I going to do with this? Well, that's where the keyword left hand and 3 rectangle comes in place, because we're going to literally draw 3 rectangles. So from the left side, I'm going to draw my rectangle from the left side to the right side, rectangle 1. And then from left side to the right side, rectangle 2. From the left side to the right side. This is a little bit tricky, rectangle 3. So even though at 7, it goes all the way up to 3, it's actually from left to right. So you end up right there. That's where your rectangle look like. So we're going to find the area of those 3 rectangles. Okay. All right. So looking at this, I know that the area of a rectangle is going to be base times height. And so let's take a look. Okay. Rectangle 1. Base is going to be, if you look at this right here, the base is from 0 to 4, so that's 4. So 4 times the height, you start on the left side. The height is going to be f of 5. So whatever f of 5 is going to be. Well, what is that? Well, look over here. Oh, I'm sorry, not f of 5, sorry. F of 0, sorry, x is 0. So f of 0 is going to be 5, so your height is 5. There's your first rectangle. Plus, let's go ahead and add rectangle 2. Okay, here's my rectangle 2. My base here is from 4 to 6, so the base is at 2. 2 times the height. My height is going to be, again, it's on the left side, so f of the x value is 4. Go to your table. When x equals 4, y equals 3. So my height is 3, so times 3. Plus, let's go ahead and add the next one, rectangle 3, which is this one here. Your base is between 6 to 7, which is 1. And your height is going to be f of, on the left side, 6. And at 6, it is 2. So my height is 2. So I'm going to do 1 times 2. All right, so then I have 20. Whoa, what just happened? Okay, here we go. 20 plus 6 plus 2. So altogether, my answer is going to be 28 unit squared. And that is my answer for question 5A. Now, you could probably do this one on your own. For B, just fine. All right, let's skip over to D for a second. Okay, so for D, this is talking about a 3 trapezoid. So that's important to know. And you're using from 0, 7. So first thing I want to do is I'm going to start off with a picture of this diagram. And so with this picture, I am going to have x values from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And from there, I know that my table, which I am going to go back to and get, so that way we can use it on the slide as well. It'd be just easier if I carried it over. So there's my table, and I'm going to put it over here. Oh, perfect. Okay. All right. So then here's my table, and I know the highest y value that I have here is 5. So I know that on my y-axis, it's going to go from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, and so this is going to be a rectangle. So my first one is going to be from 0 to 4. So 0 is at 5. 4 is at 3. The y value is at 3. So here is my first trapezoid. Then my second trapezoid is going to be from 4 to 6. So the difference there is 2. So 4 is at 3, 6, the y value is at 2. There's my trapezoid. And then lastly, from 6 to 7, there's a difference of 1. And when 7, the x value is at 3, so it kind of goes up a little bit. There we go. So I actually have 3 trapezoids. So T1, T2, T3. All right, so you know that your area of your trapezoid is going to be height 1 plus height 2 times whatever the width is divided by 2. Because remember, the width is going to be your base. I know traditionally it's going to be 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times height. And you traditionally will see something that looks like a trapezoid like this, where when it's labeled, here is the height, base 1, and base 2. Well, if you look at your trapezoid here, it's kind of slanted. It's like rotated by I don't know, 90 degrees. And so it kind of flips over a little bit like that. Okay, so then what you have here instead is you have base 1, base 2. So instead you have height 1, height 2, and then your height here becomes a width. So even though it's W over 2, it's really just the height over 2. So it's exactly the same thing. It's just written a little bit differently because the trapezoid is tilted on its side. So with that said, let's continue. Area of trapezoid 1, okay? So what is the width? Well, the width here is going to be 4. So I have 4 over 2. Height 1, this could be your height 1 right here, and that's just f of 0, which is going to be at 5, according to the table, okay? So I have 5 plus your height 2, which is f of 4, and according to the table, that's going to be a 3. Plus trapezoid 2. Here's my second trapezoid. Okay, my width is between 4 to 6, that's a 2. Base 1, or I'm sorry, height 1 is the same thing as height 2 on the first trapezoid, which is a 3, plus height 2, which is f of 6, and at f of 6, it is a 2, plus trapezoid 3. Okay, so your width here is between 6 to 7, that's 1. Height 1 is the same thing as the last height, which was 3. Height 2 is the same thing as f of 7. And according to the table, f of 7 is at 3. So I am going to have height 6. Let's see, f of 6. f of 6 is at 2. Just kidding. Sorry, 2. 2 plus 3. And then 1 over 2. Okay, so now that we set it up like this, you have 4 over 2 times 8 plus 1 times 5 plus 1/2 times 5, which is going to give you a 2 times 8, and that's going to be a 16 plus 5 over 2. And then, of course, if you put that a 2 here, that makes it a 10. 2 here, that's a 32. 32 plus 10 plus 5, grand total of 35 over 2. Or you could say 17.5 unit squared. And that is going to be your area. All right, you guys, so now that we went over 2 different questions, I want you guys to go over the rest of the answers over here. And once again, you have the answers given to you as well. The purpose of this is for you to kind of practice with it. It's not necessarily to kind of penalize you in case you don't know the answer. So just go over them and then correct your answers. All right, as always, stay safe and healthy and take care. I'll see you guys next time.